Hello everybody and welcome to Eddzshed. Today I am taking a look at the Dragon Hunter, and this is of course the beta that's just been out this weekend, and we've all had a chance to play all of the different specializations if you've already pre-purchased the beta or pre-purchased the actual game, which I have. And I'm going to look at some of the new abilities and stuff that the Guardian's got, and how this has changed a lot of the gameplay and the things that will change as far as the dynamics of the gameplay go further down the line. That's certainly what I'm going to try and look at anyway. So for the Dragon Hunter, you've now been given traps, which you can place. They work exactly the same as the Ranger's traps, where if something runs over them, they will detonate and do damage, or hold an enemy in place, or the elite trap that you've got will actually draw enemies into it. It's almost like sucks things into the centre. And then the new weapon that we've been given for the Guardian is the bow, which is it's a very nice weapon. It has a lot of sort of support capabilities where you're able to do a lot of crowd control. And also it means that you're able to stay out of harm's way. And while Guardians are heavily armoured, so they can function effectively in close quarters, they have a very small life pool, so it's something that really does change the way that you're going to be able to play your Guardian. You can use that and perhaps a staff and provide a very supportive role for the rest of your group. One thing I would want to note about sort of the bow, though, is it doesn't play very well with these new traps that you've been given. The traps I've found in my time playing with it are better if you get in very close to your enemy, so you get into close quarters and you're able to place them directly underneath the enemy as you're fighting with a hammer or a greatsword, and you're able to keep things packed in close and do a lot of AoE melee damage. This definitely hasn't addressed the fact that the Guardian has very poor DPS, and it also hasn't really buffed the support abilities for the Guardian, so I'm not quite sure where they've tried to move this forward for the Guardian. I suppose one of the great traps that it does have is it can now do a lot of vulnerability to enemies, so that's going to really help out in dungeons where you've got these sort of elementalists, warriors and guardians. The guardian's now going to be able to put a lot of vulnerability onto an enemy, whilst the elementalists and the warriors stack might. But as I say, it hasn't really addressed the lack of DPS for a guardian. So I found that a bit weird, because certainly for the other classes that have got their new specializations, I feel like they have tried to address their shortfallings in sort of dungeon situations or in PvP, whatever's the most prevalent problem with that class. I dare say when I talk about the Tempest in one of the videos, I'll explain though that they've really just pushed the DPS with them. That's all I've really got to say for the Guardian. This is the one that I've spent the most time on in the beta, and I did find it really good fun, but it was quite tricky to play. I don't feel like it's balanced, certainly compared to the Elementalist that's able to run straight into a group of people now and absolutely annihilate them. So I know this has been sort of a short video, but I haven't got a huge amount to say on the new skills, besides from the fact that I feel that they're going to need some work by ArenaNet for them to really provide any actual utility to the Guardians. But I hope you've liked the video, and I hope that you've enjoyed what footage I've got on in the for you to watch of the Guardian playing. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you around.